So.
Welcome everyone to round 7 of the Dynamic Nights Esports Tier 1 Masters Championship. We are here at Vietnam, a very technical circuit, very unforgiving but also not very flowing at the same time. In the com box with me we have the Smeg, but we've got him on, as you would say, live in the Mamma Mia mobile. He'll be driving in Alpha. So
yeah, just due to the lack of numbers for this race in particular, decided to step in behind the wheel of my favourite Mamma Mia mobile, the same car I drove in Diamond last season. That gave me plenty of good results. So hopefully this car will give me a little bit of luck. But this will be a very different experience for me because typically I either talk shit or drive shit, not both at the same time. So this will be a little bit different for me, not going to lie. But yeah, it should be a fun experience, I think.
yeah, it should be a different experience for you getting comms in the car. I've done it previously in Diamond last season at Belgium, and it's quite hard to contain volume, especially when you see some carnage, as well as battling, trying to hold your own opinion towards other drivers at the same time.
Weather report, clear skies, both race and quality. How about that? Don't need to ask anyone. You got me for it. So there you go. Cleared skies for quality in the race. Oh wait, bit of overcast in the race, but there's no
No
expected
potential.
wet conditions at all. So
That's
be nice.
perfect. So while the drivers get set, I'll quickly just drag and drop the current standings in and pull that forward here. So currently we have LR Amazing now once again on his a little bit of an undefeated streak here at Tier 1. He's got 6 on the trot. He had a dominant performance in the US and in qualifying. But he's at 152 points. And Aaron, who had his worst finishing yet, because obviously he finished second in every other race, so obviously below second is going to be his worst result. He only got 9 points, so I think that's roughly I think it's P11 off memory. And he got fastest lap because he opted to go for the softs on the final 2 laps because those hards were not going to make it. For the constructors, obviously, Racing Point and Red Bull are still up there, but closely behind, only 20 points, is Alpha Tauri, so could potentially be fighting for P2 here in the championship if Aaron continues his current laps of form, which is only one race. I mean, you can't really fault the guy. He's come second every race except for one, so I mean, it's not really a huge dip in performance, but compared to Amazing now, you could say a dip in performance is not getting fastest lap in his finishing positions. But we had Macastu get back on the podium for P3, so that's his joint finishing position, and he is currently P6 in the standings. But Wogboy, who's had a bit of a roller coaster, but he's always had really good consistent points in P3, so that's the standings for the Tier 1 Masters Championship. But as Amazing Hour is currently about to finish his lap, he goes and sets a 1:33. So yeah, so yeah, so for the multi this week, we didn't do individual tiers. We decided to do a Vietnam Top Gear special for round 7. It was more than 20.5 retirements in all tiers, so that's all of the tiers that actually link with the current calendar. So we're going from blue, all the OCE tiers, all the way to the US tier, which is tomorrow. So over 20.5 retirements in all, I think we had about 5 retirements in yellow. I think we had 2 retirements in diamond. I think we only had like a handful in blue. So it's pretty safe, reasonably, because I thought there would have been a lot more carnage, especially in diamond. But diamond was just self-retirements. There wasn't any crashes, no safety car, no virtual safety car, just personal retirements. At least one tier to hit max safety cars. I believe yellow tier did that because we had yellows in all sectors multiple times with no safety car or virtual safety car. Each tier to have less than 20 seconds worth of time penalties. I believe yellow did cross that line. At least one driver to break into the 132s in qualifying. So at this stage, we've got 133s on the board. I believe in Diamond, we had 2 drivers break into the 32s. As soon as I did type that up, a lot of the Masters drivers are saying I could hit that closing my eyes around here. So I probably should have reduced it to a 131. But that's the current thing, but it looks like we've already kind of crossed a few things off. Currently, the 134s seems to be the crowd favourite here, as Smeggy seems like he's about to finish. But yeah, finish his out lap, start his lap. So that'd be pretty neat. Self-commentary, lose of laps of concentration.
Important ones on the circuit because it dictates the run down to T1. I tend to use third gear through here just so then I can try and get to 100% power as soon as I can. Down to third gear for turn 3, then up to 4th, then up to 5th, get it down to 100% throttle as early as you can. And that should complete sector 1 down the long back straightaway heading towards turn 6, 100 meter board, third gear down to 2nd, short shift to 3rd. Nice and out wide on the exit, 4th gear, brake a little bit, try and get a straight exit into 5th gear, 6th, 7th, then into 8th gear, then open the DRS slot, there we go, nice and easy, try and keep to the right, just to minimise distance, then aim for the curve on the outside as the braking point for the hairpin, 2nd gear, on the throttle, short shift again, bit too much on the power there. Turn 13, a tricky corner. It's a bit sharper than what you think it is. Be careful of the wall on the outside, now beginning of the S's in the 3rd sector. Ooh, back end stepping out, down to 6, keep it in 6, just cut the inside line. 5th gear again, hello you, shit, well that wasn't very nice. Through the 2nd to last corner, I'm out of ERS, how the fuck have I done that? Around the final corner, I could have taken that way better, but still. Oh, that is a lot harder than what it seems. Oh my word, to talk at every corner that you enter. And to have the camera trained on, and to know you have the camera trained on you as well. That is some experience.
Yeah, it's definitely a daunting experience having not just as I
Yeah, I kind of got that corner tightens up quite a bit. I was trying to get out.
Nothing harder than doing a lap with no assist, no line, and all the viewers on you as well, and you got to self-commentate. Like even when us commentators go onto a driver and they don't even know we're on them, and they just make a mistake. So it's like a commentator's curse, and you were doing a self-commentator thing the whole time. But a 135.6,
I was applying my own curse, so. That was a lot of fun. And considering I had to stop a couple of times, like I fucked up the final corner on the out lap, and shit showed me up a little bit in the 3rd sector as well. I'm looking at a 34, low 34, which is not much to your pace, but I'm quite happy to be here. So
exactly, that's a famous line right there. Just happy to be here. 135.6, nearly not a full second off the pace off P8. So, but El Tonki's joined, which is good, makes it to 15 drivers. So that's a respectable grid here at Vietnam. Not a crowd favourite whatsoever. A lot of leagues, in particular, have voted this circuit off because the potential of just how difficult this circuit is to be quick. But obviously, I think because it's a new track, drivers just haven't put as much time in. A 1:33.1 is the fastest time here, and as amazing how improves. I don't know if he's holding back. He said he could break into the 1:32s, but obviously he's only a tenth off.
I'm guessing he has a little bit of fuel on board, just to see how the extra weight sort of affects the car a little bit. Like a lot of drivers do that. They put a bit of extra fuel in the car, maybe do 1 or 2 laps on the soft tire, just to see how it all feels. And funnily enough, from my accident at turn 3 that everyone saw and I'm really embarrassed about, I got no damage from that. So,
yeah,
fantastic.
I believe as much as this track, yeah, I think the damage model on this track is really glitchy. Because even in my PC race, I binned it exactly the same corner sideways, no damage, and I just went off like nothing happened. As I think Macas is getting a bit of a tow here from Amazing Hour, but he overshoots it, so the extra tow did sacrifice a bit of turning in. But it's good to see these guys are still buddies on track, even though they're in the different cars this season.
You expect that between friends, don't you? Because a bit of a helping hand here. Like I do it all the time. Oh, we do it all the time in Diamond, just helping each other around occasionally, and giving each other a whole heap of banter as well.
As Macas invalidates, so he just zooms it in the pits. Actually goes under the thing, I'm surprised, and doesn't even lock up. But yeah, of course, like if you're near a driver, it's like, oh, I can give you a tow down the straight. I mean, it's not affecting my time. I've finished. As Dre's lagging all over the place. I thought he just ringed into the wall there. But the driver to look out for, who's currently on a lap, is GeForce Aaron in P5 currently. He is a full second off P1. So the time difference in this qualifying session is quite enormous compared to the rest of the season.
Yeah, it is at the moment, but I kind of pray that it all closes up a bit nicely towards the end of the session once everyone's got sort of the best of the conditions and the best of the car and they're really able to send it around the circuit. But yeah, I also with Aaron, I had to actually stop at pit exit because this pit exit is A, unique and B, very stupid. And the pit exit sort of falls where the racing line is at turn 2. And I find it a good thing just to stop the car to let the car on a flying lap through, just so then they don't get a compromised line going through turn 2, because it is quite a critical corner around the circuit. So I've got a car behind me. Get off the side. Yeah, and I noticed with Vietnam, you're absolutely correct. It is so uncompromising. You cannot make a mistake around here. Chips described it well. It's basically Monaco on steroids. It's so much quicker. There's so much flow around the circuit as well. And yeah, if you're inch out of line anywhere, yeah, you're basically screwed. You're just going to eat a whole heap of concrete, which isn't particularly fun. Not going to lie. As I found out, right here at turn 3 actually, it's not a very good exercise to do during qualifying, or in the race for that matter. But 4 minutes left in the session.
Yeah, yeah, exactly right. This track it wants to be Monaco and Silverstone at the same time.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah, it's got that flowy section, but it's also got some fast straights, but it's also very technical. But and then it's just got the Monaco walls and how small the little to zero runoffs. If you hit one wall, you're gonna probably bounce into the other. As Aaron actually got a 1:33.6, so P2, 5/10 off pole position. As these drivers, as Jay Banks has kindly retired, so he's serving his qualifying ban from the report from his incident with GeForce Dre in qualifying. So there is that.
I've completely forgot about that. Yeah, that contact that we saw during quali at Kota was a bit just sloppy from Banks there. Oh dear me. I think it was turn 11 just before the back straightaway. Yeah, let's see. What have I done at 35.1? Yeah, couldn't do better. But yeah, so he's out of the session, so he'll be qualifying in. Oh, will he qualify 14th or 15th because of
15th.
Has El Tonki set a lap yet or not?
15th, and El Tonki has not set a lap.
Ah, because I know he's joined the session.
Yeah.
Like, he can select a car if he wants
Yeah,
to.
El Tonki's selected the Haas, so he's in his car.
Okay.
As Tao's done a 136.3. So, Smeg, you're currently in P10.
Yeah.
On top of 3 drivers at the moment.
I know I've got a little bit more time to find in that lap, just making a few sloppy mistakes here and there. But, yeah, and also, a unique thing about this circuit as well, being a Tilka track, it ticks all the boxes, okay? Like, in terms of, like, the track making criteria, it's got the heavy braking zones into sharp corners, it's got a nice flowy bit, you know, it ticks all the boxes, but it's still a horrible racetrack. It's a bit like Abu Dhabi. That's a perfect example. In terms of the checklist, Abu Dhabi ticks all the boxes, doesn't it? It's technically perfect. Is it perfect though? It's far fucking from it, is what it is. And it seems to be somewhat the same case with Vietnam. It's got all the right criteria. It's just, it's a bit awkward to say the least. That's all.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where it's done too perfectly. You know, if you follow the box, if you follow all the boxes, you think you've made the most perfect track. But in hindsight, the most perfect track is really the ones that shouldn't make any sense whatsoever.
Yeah, exactly. That have sort of character to it. It's not just this.
It's not just fill in the boxes, line, turn, line.
And that's precisely what this track... well, most Tilka circuits are like that, to be honest, where they're just sort of these check boxes and it all just works. Well, it's supposed to work, according to like the maths or the simulations, it's all supposed to work. But when it comes to reality, well, at least in this game, I haven't seen too many good races around here, but you know, it's always good to be a bit optimistic. Anyway, I think I'll end my quali there. We'll watch the final laps together, shall we?
Yeah, sounds good, Smeggy. As Makastew's finishing his one, ERS is actually just deplenished so quickly here because of the long straights. They're just gone. It's gone so quickly. As he goes into P3, a 133.7. So, funny enough, when the drivers said they can break into the 132s, at this stage, they don't.
Well, I guess they thought they could do it in time trial, but it's completely different conditions in actual qualifying. As El Tonki has retired from the session as well. So El Tonki set a lap and he's going to qualify in 14th place, so it's not dead set last, so thumbs up to him. But amazing how it appears to be on quite the lap here. He's coming up to the end of Sector 2 now, heading towards turn number 13, and he's up by 0.2 of a second. No, scratch that, 0.3 of a second, heading into the high-speed S's of the 3rd sector, which they're absolutely flat out. I'm lifting through there. I'm that much of a coward, I'm lifting through there. Like, these top guys, they're going through that entire opening S section completely flat out in 6th gear. That is absolutely insane. Anyway, amazing how we'll come around the final corner. ERS completely depleted, crosses a line and does a 32. Oh boy, that's it.
Should I leave now? After the comments I made about 30 seconds ago. I mean, I could see why these drivers didn't want to race. What is going on? Man just rinsed the car again. Another, what could we say? A near perfect lap. It's just a 132.6. Just a 132.6. He's only a full second quicker than P2.
It's just a second. Like, when Mac just said Andrew's quick around here, I guess he wasn't lying. I hazard a guess that he wasn't lying. Holy fuck. That's a lap.
And the Smeg, it looks like you have finished in P10, so you get to start on the tyres. You qualified in.
I get
bit of a shock.
For my softs. And look at Bodhod and Aaron, just quickly. Look at their times.
Oh, wow. Bodhod. Bodhod has
Well,
shown up.
exactly. You're P3, mate. Like, Diamond Driver is P3, and he's done the exact same time as Aaron.
The exact
That
same
is
time as a... And funny enough, he wasn't placed above him, like we've seen on other ones, but wowee.
There you go. Exact same time. Well done, Bodhod. Well done. But it's an amazing hour. Aaron 1, 2, Bodhod, then Mackenzie Stewart, P3 and 4. Wogboy in 5th, Gaming Wafer in 6th, GeForce Dre in 7th, Has Mania in 8th, Spilly in 9th. I'm in the top 10. I'm 2.5 seconds off the pace, but I'm in the top 10. Tal in 11th, Chich in 12th, Warosco Arm in 13th, El Tonki in 14th, and Jay Banks, after serving a qualifying ban, will start from the back of the grid. So it's probably a good idea for me to find my white flag and just let everyone through into turn 1, because I'm probably going to need to do that. Well, we'll see how it goes, shall we?
Yeah, as the drivers get ready, as Smeg gets ready for this race, we'll be right back through their qualifying lap. Oh, not qualifying lap, formation lap. And we are back. We can see that the bottom, all the people from 11th to 15th are all on the medium tyre, so they're opting for the medium soft strategy, as the two-stop is very much the optimal strategy here, as well as the medium soft is just absolutely rapid. So I'm assuming that from 1st to 10th, they're most likely doing the soft, medium, soft stint. But maybe even one driver in particular might be doing the soft, medium, but we'll have to wait and see if anyone does that. But the soft, medium, soft seems like it's got to be the recommended pit stop strategy and race strategy.
Yeah, it's easily the recommended one. I tried the one stop from softs to mediums, and I know it works. You can stretch the softs about 11 or 12 laps. You can stretch the mediums about, I think it's about 16, 17 laps. So the tyres have got some life in them, but they're pretty crappy once they hit that sort of mark. They do lose a lot of grip at that point. So you do have to be somewhat aware of that. But if you're just clean and consistent and just manage your tyre temps, you can make the one stop work. But the pit lane around here isn't particularly long, because when you enter pit lane, you cut out turns 22, 23, turns 1, and the beginning of turn 2 as well. So in terms of the delta between you going into the pit lane and you not going into the pit lane isn't particularly big around here. So the two-stop is probably more worth it around here.
Yeah, and off the people that use the hards in the diamond race, the hards just don't seem to be a very quick race tyre here.
No.
It's just a very sluggish tyre compared to the mediums. Mediums obviously the superior tyre, but the softs, man, the softs for those 10 laps are absolutely fantastic. But
they do. They feel like the best tyre out of the lot, to be honest. In race pace, not just in quality trim, but in race pace as well. They just feel like a good tyre. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what everyone does and see how I do.
We'll keep a good eye on you as we have the
Oh,
sound of the light sequence go as the cars are starting to rev up. At the moment, it happens every time we do commentary. And lights out and away we go here at Vietnam. And Amazing Hour gets a great start, but Aaron is right beside him. I think he's got the pincher into turn one as the rest of the field packs up. Is Aaron? Oh, I see a Haas! Gaming Wave! Oh, dearie me!
Oh, no.
Oh, I didn't think that was going to happen with all the numbers that was there. Gaming Wafer absolutely sent it into turn one. Got spun on the side pod of GeForce Aaron. Let's have a quick replay on that. I think hopefully, yeah, it's a bit late for the replay, only 20 seconds, but dearie me, the end of that is a big consequence. Oh.
Yeah, I saw that happen right in front of me, obviously. But yeah, it's very odd to see a Haas completely the wrong way at turn one. Not going to lie, that is something a little bit different that I haven't seen. Everyone checked up. We all, basically, this concertina effect in this midfield, we all hit the back end of someone because we all had to check up for the cars in front, checking up to not hit the Haas that spun round. Ooh, I have to be careful with my delta here and try and not speed, which will be...
Yeah, so unfortunately, Bodhod, Macastew, biggest losers into round one, but Amazing Hour got the position back. That's not what Aaron wants at this stage. He had a great start, but got caught up in that incident from Gaming Wafer. He's right behind Amazing Hour at the moment. We've got more yellow flags. I believe that's an El Tonki. And a towel. Oh, no.
See that on the mini-map. Turn 13. Like I said, that corner's sharper than what you think it is. It's a 90-degree corner, but it's sort of like Abu Dhabi's 90-degree corner. It feels a lot sharper than what it is, so you do have to be careful.
As I believe both drivers are going to go into the pit lane. We might not see them continue as previous experience from these drivers have fallen quickly before. As Amazing Hour has already pulled the 1 second gap away from Aaron, so that DRS is no longer going to be helpful for him when it comes to lap 3. But Hazamania on the back of Spilly. Actually, now he's in front.
Yeah, I'll be your cameraman on this one. I'm watching these two have a nice little scrap into turn 6. Hazard's made the move quite easily, even without DRS, suggesting that he's got a pretty good car in a straight line. We might see Spilly make a sort of counter-attack into the S's, but with the S section, you've got really nowhere to make a move through there, so as Spilly's going to actually launch it here down the inside of the hill.
Yeah, it's absolutely impossible to defend as soon as a car's parked it down the inside. Really can't do much except for getting the grip around the outside as Hazamania actually retains that position.
That was a good move from Hazard. He had complete confidence in himself and in the car. He was powered out of the corner. Superb traction. Now through the S's. Through here, Spilly will be losing time because of the dirty air. See there, the gap slightly opening up between the two, and we'll have DRS in this lap, so this will turn into a very interesting battle. I think if Spilly can just maintain that sort of second gap to Harry.
Yeah, exactly. It seems like we have two different races going on. The top 8 are all near each other, and then the bottom 9 from 9 to 15th are with each other, obviously because of the massive incident to turn 1. Majority of the drivers actually had to pit, so because of that, there is a 21-second difference from 8th to 9th, and the Smeg is about to potentially go for a move on Spilly, but he's wisely going to stay behind because the second DRS part, or I should say the third on this circuit, is the most OP thing ever. It's just going to make your job so much easier rather than making a move into turn 5.
Yeah, exactly. And that's about just thinking about it, knowing the track. You know there's a big DRS zone coming up. And I think Spilly has damage. It looks like he has damage. he's just losing a fair amount of time here.
Yeah,
And
as I just saw for you, so that might give you a helping hand. Right hand side end plate has disappeared from his car, potentially maybe even got some damage from that turn one incident. So he's got to ride this out for his first stint and get that replaced for his second stint. As we have some more yellow flags, I believe that is El Tonki once again. It is too. His car is completely stopped on the circuit. As we go back to as his flick spin doesn't kill his car, so that's nice.
Oh, did he hit a wall when he flick spin? Did he?
Yeah, back end. As Amazing Hour is now 2.3 seconds, and he's actually got a purple third sector, so he's just absolutely flying at this stage. As Altonki gets 3 seconds. But look at this bit of a conga line here from Hazamania all the way down to Spilly. Oh, actually, even potentially down to Big Chich here. So this is a huge line. Big Chich on the medium compound.
Yeah, I might. Spilly, if you're right about that, yeah, he's got damage. You can tell as well. Just in the corners, he's understeering like crazy in the mid part of the corner. And because of his understeering, he can't get the best exit out of some of the critical corners, like here at turn 9. You need a pretty good exit out of here, just so then you can really maximise the run onto the straight. But he's actually nailed that behind me. I might have to do a bit of defending here. Oh boy. Actually, maybe not. I think he's just going to go for it. He's going to switch it probably into overtake mode into wrench. Yeah, here we go. I'm not going to fight it too much. There we go. A very clean move by Banks there. Bit better than my one. I made a bit of a meal of my overtake. He shows me how it's done.
Yeah.
Actually, no, wait. Sorry, that's Mr. Banks.
It's Jay Banks, yeah. Mr. Back of the grid, yeah.
Where's
Spilly.
he come from?
He's flying on those mediums starting at 15th. Oh,
I thought there was a Williams behind me. Oh, dear. Then I saw the name tag. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. That's James. Oh, dear. Oh, that's very professional of me, not going to lie. I was going to say, Spilly with that damage absolutely nailed the exit of that roundabout. But there we go.
Spilly's actually got into the pits now, obviously to replace that front wing and finish his first stint from those softs. Our co-commentator, the Smeg, is comfortably in 5th at the moment. Fantastic start with a bit of a beneficial start that happened in turn 1.
I had a bit of luck in that, trying to survive all the carnage that happened there. But you need a bit of luck to go your way sometimes during racing. It doesn't hurt to have a little bit. But I might be in a nice position here, but the guys around me are on the medium tyres and they're showing me how it's done. They've got some really good speed underneath them at the moment. Like, in terms of drivers around me, the only one on the same strategy, I think, is Harry, and he's in 3rd place, and he's 3 seconds off the road. What the plan would be is for those two in front of me to have a bit of a scrap, but they're teammates, so I don't think they're going to do that. They're just sort of, if Banks has got pace, I think Harry would just let him go. So.
Yeah, his AlphaTauri is actually catching up rapidly in the constructors. These two have pulled pretty nice consistent points. It's obviously the top dogs at the top as Tao has retired in the pit lane. So that was 5 laps. Obviously the incident to turn 1 obviously started it and just hasn't picked it up since.
Yeah, I do.
Aaron is now 3.1 seconds off the leader. But he has a lot of VRS remaining, so he's just cruising at the moment. Just another podium to claim by the looks of it, unless no safety car comes out, as Hazard does an absolute catch of the year on that car. And I believe J Banks is not going to make a move here. He's just going to stay behind for the next part of DRS.
Yeah. I completely agree. That's precisely what he's going to do. He's just going to play the patient game. Wait till the long straight. Oh dear. Turn 8 and turn 9. Oh dear. So yeah, he'll sit right in behind him. I think Harry will probably just hold the right hand side, so then Banks can go around the as Mac is out.
Maka has retired in the pits as well. Bad day at Renault. Oh, that's the wrong way. And the car's already passed. But Joe Banks has slotted himself into P3. So AlphaTauri 3-4. Mamma Mia and Co. in 5 and 6.
Oh yes, there's a Mamma Mia B team and the Mamma Mia A team. But considering this is 2020, I'm actually in the A team. If Kimi Raikkonen's performances are anything to go by. So I get preference, Chich. I'm sorry, but I'm holding this position. You're going to have to find a way past me. Oh, dear. Nah, he'll catch up to me quite easily. These softs are really starting to die off. Only 7 laps in. I can tell already that the front right seems to be wearing quite a bit. Starting to understeer in left-handers. So, just something to look out for all the time here at Vietnam. Got to be worrying about everything.
I think Haas has made another mistake. I think he missed the pit wall, or he was letting people down. Oh, dearie me.
He has. I was wondering what that car was that spun around in the first sector, and it was Chich who was just behind me. He's made a boo-boo.
He has. As soon as you're complimenting his pace, commentators curse, benefiting the driver.
He genuinely spin-olive. What the hell?
As Roscoe actually might have a peak here, but he's just outside DRS. But this will cut down that time quite a lot, just even with the slipstream alone.
Keep out of trouble, Chich. And the problem is now, after making that mistake, he'll... Oh, hello! Someone's in the wall in Sector 3. Oh, it's Banks, he spun! He spun round.
Oh no! This looks like you're in a... Could be a poor area to be in.
I got to... Yeah, fuck it, let's go. Nice and gently in, there we go.
Yeah, the P3 driver's made a huge mistake, clipping probably the left-hand side wall on the rear tyre, spinning the car.
Another teammate were pretty close, but... well, he's in as well, so he must have damage from that. Come on, Mamma Mia team. Well done. Good stop. But yeah, just noticed the AlphaTauri in front of me just having a bit of a moment. Oh no, this is going to be something else, isn't it? Pit exit. Oh, I do hate this pit exit. There we go. So, first pit stop out of the way. Tick that box and we'll move on.
As Gaming Wafer has a bit of a redemption from his mediums pitted on lap 2. And he's going to get slipstream and potentially make a move on Spilly here if Spilly doesn't want to use overtake. As he's already on 9%, so... But 8/10, he's on 3% Gaming Wafer, so it's not going to happen this lap, so he'll be setting himself up for the following lap here.
Yeah, so probably won't use any overtake throughout the third sector or any of the first sector either, just to build up the reserves to try and launch an attack. Thing is, though, Spilly will be doing the exact same thing, so it's all about trying to get a run through turn 9, I feel. Turns 8 and 9. Sort of hope the driver in front makes a mistake. You might be able to slingshot by into the DRS zone.
As the top 3 have pitted. And Amazing Hour and Aaron stay in front of Big Chich. Like you were saying before, how the pit lane works, they get to skip majority of the track. So pit lane's actually obviously not that long. And it gives them a good run off into turn 3.
Yeah, and the speed differential between people leaving the pit lane and going through turn 2 normally is actually ridiculous. You are so much quicker leaving the pit lane compared to people on the racetrack. And rejoining onto the racetrack for people in the pit lane, it is a bit of a mess, particularly if you're side by side with someone on the racetrack normally. So you have to keep an eye out on the mini map just for any drivers in the pits, just to make sure you can sort of gauge when they come out and whether you sort of meet with them. And if you do, you sort of have to compromise yourself at turn 2 to try and not bang into them. It's a very bloody unique pit exit, I must say. Don't necessarily know what Tilka was taking that day, but it wasn't a very smart decision.
Yeah,
Whatever he
because
did.
the racing line itself is that you have to really use all the track that's given.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
this is probably the only track where the person in the pit lane doesn't actually have to cut off that line to defend. He just has to stay where he is.
Just stay exactly where he is, precisely right. There is absolutely no need for you to just deliberately cut the white line, because then you're just compromising yourself at that point. The game should give you a sort of sympathy minus penalty if you do that sort of thing. Yeah, absolutely right. You would lose that much time by cutting that white line and compromising the run into turn 3. Ooh,
As we're on board with Wi-Fi, oh, bit of a Tokyo drift. He has to lock up to try and save that. But it really shows how wide these cars get going through turns 2 into 3. They really potentially even go off the circuit itself. So he might have got a warning there, but the way he was losing that car at the same time, he might not have. Bodhod, big disappointment. Obviously not of his own fault. Just got caught up in that massive car park incident at turn 1. He had a fantastic qualifying, best qualifying session we've seen in P3 with the same time as the person in P2.
Yeah, it was an exceptional qualifying for sure. As I think Roscoe has been overtaken by Harry, I think.
He has too, and you are 3 seconds behind. Might potentially see you catch up since he has started on those means and hasn't pitted.
Yeah, the delta between the fresh and the old tyres are quite dramatic around here. And I've got to worry about the car behind as well. Spilly, he's gained a little bit every so often, as I kind of expect from those sort of guys, is to gain ever so much every single lap. At the moment, he's just outside of my DRS range, just a little bit outside it. Oh dear.
So 1.5.
It seems from the track map, amazing I was absolutely walking away with this. So.
Yeah, 6.6 is the gap. It's actually a 6.6, basically that between all the top 4. They're all the same distance away from each other, so they're all equally
distant.
Yeah. All 6.4, 5, and 6. All 6. Wow. Quite incredible.
I did. Oh, shit.
Good little catch there, Smeg.
Boo-boo. I have made a wee bit of a boo-boo. And there's a yellow flag in Sector 2. What's that? It's Mercedes. I think that must be Bodhod, is it? I think that must be Bodhod. He's the only Mercedes driver here.
He is at P11. He's got a G-Force Dre on the back of him.
Yeah, I made a bit of a boo-boo at turn 8, where I touched the inside curb and it sort of half spun the car. What happens is that you compromise the exit speed so much because of it. Your car's sideways, it isn't straight, so you aren't able to put the power down at all. You have to wait until the car becomes straight again for you to put the power down. So.
Oh, Dre, small mistake. I heard the snicko there. And I believe that is potentially an end plate ripped off, or...
Is there a hot spot on that one?
Oh, that was definitely a hot spot contact, potentially lime. But no end plate ripped off from there, but there was definitely sound. Snicko can confirm that.
Yeah, okay, no need to review that. Thank you. Definite wing damage, 100%.
Umpire, you are on screen. Stick with your original decision.
Anyway, I'm coming up on Roscoe Arm here. I'm going to look around the outside. Oh, here we go. Turn 10. I'll keep it an overtake. I'll switch it back into medium now. Oh, very simple. Very simple. Ooh, a bit early on the brakes by me. Not going to lie. Pull the car up. Ding dong.
And Spilly's actually got to follow you as well. So you're not.
Sorry, Roscoe Arm.
So you're not losing him here.
I made a bit of a meal of that hairpin, not going to lie. I broke about maybe 20 metres or so too early there. And that I had to sort of release the brake because I knew I wasn't going to make the corner. I was going to stop, basically. Yep, sorry, Roscoe. I didn't mean it. Now I've got Spilly all over the back of his shit.
Yeah, if that move was clean, you might have held Spilly back for a small second at a time just to get away from him.
Nah, Spilly be cheering. He'd be happy. So I made one driver upset and one driver happy. There we go. It all balances out. But yeah, the top three very much in a class of their own. They look superb at the moment, I have to say. So, credit where credit's due. They've driven superbly. It's completely and utterly away from the field. That field being me and Spilly at the moment. And I think Spilly's going to have a crack. He is right up my backside. So, hang on, Spilly. Let me grab the white flag.
Bit of a rinse and repeat move here. Just basically hold it around the outside and you'll get the inside line gone into this massive roundabout. Double lock up, but nice and clean.
Yeah, see, that's how you're supposed to do it, folks. Don't do it how I did it. I bloody butchered it. That was a good move by Spilly, nice and clean. And I don't necessarily want to fight him too much. I don't have a full-time seat in this championship. I'm just filling in for tonight, so make it a bit easier on him.
No need to get the elbows out. Who knows?
No, there's no need.
Well, at this stage, the gap between the top three has grown massively. At one stage, we're all the same distance, 6.6 seconds. Now we're looking at 8 and 14 seconds is the gap. So the top three are in cruise control. Spilly might have to put the hammer down if he wants to contend for third. But with his tyres already being 8 laps old, he'd be pitting a little bit earlier compared to Oceania. So it looks like this is... Oh, we've got a mistake here. I can't see where. It's a safety car, but I don't see anyone DNFing.
Neither. There was no yellow flags before this point. It was just a safety car. It just came out. It's a very interesting...
As I'm going through just to check the time difference, it's definitely not the top three. It's definitely not you guys in the middle pack.
No, we got through okay. There must be debris somewhere on the circuit.
Oh, yep, it's El Tonki. Complete front wing, absolutely ripped apart. He would have lost that into turn one, and yeah, all that debris would have just caused that safety car to come out. So yeah, as I was saying, the time difference is going to come down a lot because of this safety car. Everyone gets a bit of reset. Obviously, the top three either liking it or hating it. For yourself, Smeggy, it's going to be an interesting restart. You're on somewhat old mediums, but kind of fresh. Only 5 laps.
Yeah, but I'm in a bit of a predicament because I've got a teammate in this race.
You are in front. The Wog Boy is on hards. 11 lap hole hards. So he'll be probably coming in as well on the mediums. He is roughly 17 seconds behind.
Look, I don't want to compromise Wog Boy's race in any way, shape or form. So if he wants to pit... Oh shit, I wasn't paying attention to the delta. I accidentally got a drive-through. Whoops.
Oh
Oopsie daisy.
no! And you're having such a brilliant race up to that moment.
Ah,
That's commentary. We're trying to, you're trying to do both.
well, I don't know why the delta's still up. Like, I've done a lap of the circuit. Why is there a delta still up? Oh well. That's fine. Like I said, I'm just here to fill in. I'm not here to just, score points or anything. I'm just here to just increase the field size a little bit. But that's okay. Nah. But yeah, so Wogboy made a stop. See, if I went in, probably would have cost him an extra 3, maybe 5 seconds. So, and then he would have lost a place to the Ferrari behind, who is GeForce Dro. So, just because of how stupid this game works. So. Yeah, it was very strange that I, for some reason, got a delta, even though I crossed the start-finish line. But oh well, that's okay. Just happy to be here.
Just happy to be here.
Yeah, but anyway, I'll make a stop, put on some fresh tires.
So
where's the pit? Someone destroyed the pit board. Damn them.
the people that have pitted, Amazing Hour stays out. Aaron goes on to softs. Hazamania stays out. Smeggy goes in, but we'll have to go in again very soon. Big Chich is going back in. He did 3 laps on his softs, and he's going to go back onto mediums and finish the race on those, as he does. Nope, he's going on to fresher softs, so 2-lap-old softs is not good enough. Roscoe Arm goes onto softs as well. GeForce Dre onto softs, the rest on mediums. So...
you'll be able to stretch the softs, for sure, but... don't know. It'd be interesting to see how it all plans out. Anyway, I'll catch up to the front of this field. We'll have a look at what's going on with those fellas. Yeah, an interesting call from Amazing Hour to stay out. He's already made a pit stop, yes. I'm pretty sure he would. It was lap 16. So, he's going to try and do the one-stop go to the end. Pass Billy. God. Why did the game tell me to pass Billy for? Dear oh dear.
Trust me, when you drive near the pit lane, it'll tell you to pass cars that don't exist.
It's brilliant, isn't it? Just really affirms to you that this is a Codemasters game. Oh, gee, everyone's checking up through here. Come on, safety car, speed up. It's not like you're going as quick as you possibly can right now. Yeah, no, looks good.
Might be a pretty good time to have a look at time penalties. I have a feeling that no one's really going there because this track's basically impossible to get them.
Yeah, that's right.
I think most of these warnings are just going to be collisions in turn 1. Invalidated lap for lap 8 for Aaron. Don't know what that could be for.
Mac has left the session, poor fella. Oh well, at least I'll have the comfort of knowing that I didn't finish last, technically. I'll probably cross the line last.
Wow, wait.
Okay.
El Tonki. He has done the medium, soft, soft strategy.
I see. So he's doing the Jensen Button strat. I understand.
The 6 stops so far. And quite a hefty amount of penalties. Most likely serving each one in there. That's about it. No one really on penalties. Just a bit of a cross the line first kind of situation.
Pretty much. Unless we have another safety car, and that will shake everything up, so... I mean, that's very odd. Yeah, Spilly, just speed up a bit, mate. I'm not going to pass you, just speed up a bit, because you're falling behind. Like, it says pass Spilly, Spilly is out of the race. No, he's not. He's right there, game. So we'll be back on the green flag racing this lap, so... Now, if I remember correctly, I have to do a complete full lap before I can serve this, so...
Yeah, since the pit lane isn't at the front, it's all the way around.
Yeah, but that's okay. Just happy to be here, folks. Spilly's gone into AI. Jesus. Alright, it's all down to Amazing Hour. He's going to conduct the restart. He's not conducted it yet.
No, he might take his time here.
I think you're right.
Because that last turn, he might oversteer into the wall, as he's already gone. And it's comfortable. And we're back racing.
Yep.
And he seems to have had a great start. And he's already pulled 5/10. He's been... He caught Aaron a bit sleepy there, as Smeg has kindly let...
I'll let most of these guys
go.
Like, I know I've got to drive through, so what's the point of me fighting for, you know? Go through. Yeah, yeah. So there's no benefit in the position, so
exactly. Exactly. As I believe Aaron actually might have a go at it. Amazing Hour here. It's his only chance to do so. And this is a move for the lead of the Grand Prix on the softs, 3 laps old. As he gets that move comfortably done before the turn. Parks the car perfectly and then gets the runoff through onto Sector 3. First time leading the Grand Prix, except for lap 1.
Now you sent that out of nowhere. Fuck. Yes, game. I know I've got to drive through. You don't need to tell me. Nice and easy. There we go.
Aaron with the fastest lap, obviously with those softs. You will be electric, but he's got 7 laps to go on them. But Amazing Now has already done 9 laps on his medium, so he could have pitted.
He's decided not to.
But he has decided not to.
Not sure why, but there you go. He's decided not to do it.
So as Aaron's actually pulled 1.3 seconds off.
There we go. Serve my drive through. See what happens, shall we? Got a lot of laps left. When the field bunched up, as close as it is, anything can happen, so... You can see there on the mini-map, got a bunch of 5 cars, I think, really stupidly close to each other, so...
Tasmania's actually got to battle his teammate here. And he's actually got to stay behind, so he's not going to potentially make a mistake of what they've done previously. But we don't know if they did collide or they just both made individual errors.
Yeah, I don't know. It was an interesting incident at turn 14. I think that was a corner number where it happened at. And yeah, to see a car in that sort of position on a circuit like this where it's so incredibly narrow, it was very odd. I'm sure they'll be able to fill us in post-race, so... Yeah, so Aaron's made a superb strategy call by going onto those soft tyres when the safety car did come out. I just find it very surprising that it just came out for debut.
Yeah, I have a feeling that Amazing Hour might have already gone past the pit lane.
Tell you what, that might not be a bad shout.
And if he went in, he would have actually lost more positions than just one. So
perhaps,
but you know, like 12 lap old softs can. I don't know about that top left.
Well, yeah, that's fair. I know I can. Well, off experience, I carried the soft tire 11 laps, and they were pretty dead by the end of it, but they were drivable. It wasn't like driving on an ice rink. It was actually somewhat manageable. But yeah, in this period, for sure, Aaron's going to be that much quicker than Amazing Hour. But towards the end of the race, who knows? It might be quite close between the two. We'll have to see how much the medium tyre actually degrades, I suppose, in comparison to the soft tyre.
Yeah, exactly. So Aaron's got this huge lead at the moment of 2.5 seconds. But it's all about if you can hold on to that pace, especially with those softs dying off. The mediums will be kicking in soon, temperature-wise. But then again, we're looking at roughly 19 laps. Big Chich has absolutely sent it and given Spilly a nice squeeze on those softs. And Spilly's actually going to hold it around the inside the whole way through, as he's absolutely closed the door on him. Oh, dearie me. So that is brought Spilly around into Wafer. Yeah, that long roundabout section, you got to remember that a driver is still there. So you may take the wide line, but if you're going back narrow, you really didn't leave him any space whatsoever. So yeah, that's a bit of a yikes moment there. So Spilly in 11th place. As Roscoe Arms in his highest position this season in P4, but he's got Hazamania right behind him, 4/10. But so at some stage, Roscoe Arms actually taking the position of Hazamania because Hazamania and J-Banks were battling. So those softs are really kicking in. But then again, it's all about if those softs will make it, because on past races, a lot of these drivers actually had to pit in the last couple of laps because of tyre wear.
It'll be interesting to see how it all works out. But for now, they've got track position, which is pretty important around here. But if the softs deteriorate to such a degree to where they're the cars behind are within a second, and they quite easily could set up a move into the hairpin on the final lap and just really send it on the driver in front. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they play out. At the moment, I'll give you my own opinion. With the medium tyres I'm currently on, they feel fine. They feel absolutely fantastic. They don't quite have the grip as what the fresh softs do, obviously, but it's not horrible speed at the moment. So
yeah, as you're 10 seconds off Split, but obviously you had to do that drive-through, so it's not bad. Not bad at all.
Well, I'm managing to hang on to 10 seconds to Spilly, so I think the gap was between me and him was about 10 seconds at the hairpin. So.
Big Chich once again has made a move around a roundabout and got the position, but Hazamania not messing around with that straight line speed is absolutely incredible, and he gets DRS at the same time, so maybe making a move during that roundabout was the worst thing Big Chich has done, unless he goes for a dive bomb, as he went for a peak, but he decided to pull back behind the AlphaTauri driver, and GeForce Dre's right behind us. Actually, Roscoe has slotted himself into P3. I'm missing these big battles.
So yeah, Roscoe Arm's doing a fantastic job on those tyres at the moment, really making them work. But again, we've still got, when they cross the line, it'll be 6 laps to go, which is a lot of laps around here. Still about 35-ish kilometers worth of racing to go. So he might have the positions now. It'll be interesting to see towards the end of the race how he fares compared to the rest of the field, or the rest of the medium runners, that is.
As one of the soft runners, GeForce Aaron is actually 3.7 seconds ahead. So Those softs are still getting quicker here, as Amazing Hour is one of the oldest set of mediums, though, with 13 laps. So they're basically battling each other with the same amount of tyre wear between them. But 3.4 seconds. I'm going to just double check if Aaron actually has any penalties. I don't believe he does. As
you mentioned, it's pretty difficult to get him around here.
Yeah, he's only got one warning to his name with an invalid lap, so I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
I know an invalid lap popped up for me when I did a 10-second time penalty when I cut across the track when I was Tokyo drifting in Brazil. So I don't think he's got something like that. I don't think he's got a 10-second to his name. As Kvyat Panzer has commented, I've carried the sus for 14 laps in yellow, final lap. And it was a tip and toe for no puncture though, so 14 laps seems to be really the limit.
Fair bit. You also have to remember, with no assists as well, you can really manage the tyres quite nicely with that ABS and traction control on. So these guys will make it work.
Yeah, especially with their no other tricks in the trade. They'll be short shifting, they'll be staying away from those curbs. Just extending the tyre life as much as they can, reducing locking up, just to keep the front left alive, because it does it has a lot of stress, especially these roundabouts, just carrying all that weight and speed. As Amazing, I was actually lost another 5/10 that lap, so as Roscoe Arms actually still kind of held J Banks back a little bit, so with 15 lap old, but
Chip is in.
Big Chich might have had damage, potentially, as Hazamania gets 3 seconds to his name. And your teammate Wogboy is in P7, so he's watching this battle in front. I saw Hazamania cut across, he's nearly made contact with Dre there.
Go Wogboy, supporting the Mamma Mia bids.
Yeah, and he's got a feisty Bodhod behind. As I believe Bodhod actually might make a move on your teammate Wogboy here, as he doesn't have DRS with Dre.
Honestly, like, oh
wow! I just toggled off and I just saw that. Oh dearie me! A double retirement there at the hard braking zone after the second DRS.
Oh, hello.
It's a Dre and a Hazamania. Absolutely destroyed.
See if I can't see anything.
You can just see it. The segment of Dre, I think, was on the inside. I just moved my camera to the right hand side, but you can just see the end of it. We'll have another look.
There we go. That's a mighty crash. And some drivers have taken the chance to pit as well.
Yeah, as it's a virtual safety car. Yeah. No full safety car though, obviously with only 2 laps to go. No, sorry. 3. I thought Aaron hasn't crossed the line yet, but he's all the way in front.
Well, that will give me another 2 positions. Very nice.
Nice little redemption drive.
A little bit, but they're going to be hunting me down at a rate of knots, so... And I know they're a lot quicker. So...
No one got a drive through that virtual safety car, but an inquiry between those 2 drivers will definitely be held up, because that looked absolutely spectacular, but also extremely dangerous, as J Banks and Roscoe Arm are still battling. But wow, a double retirement near the end of the race.
I mean, I understand sometimes, you know, towards the end of the race you go for some desperate moves, but yeah, to see that, and I don't think I saw a wheel off either. I think it was just a heavy enough impact that it sort of broke the internals of the car, not necessarily the wheels. So.
Yeah, it's exactly what you think, because the impact enough is to retire the car. Sometimes you don't have to lose a bit of equipment. But yeah, I'm already looking at the chat, and the 2 drivers are having a bit of a conversation.
Well, you would. I mean, they kind of killed each other, so
Yeah, and they were in great fighting positions. They were in 4 and 5, 5 and 6, or actually no, they were in front of J Banks, I think. Oh no, they were in front of Wogboy, so 5 and 6 they were battling. So yeah, it would have been great points. So unfortunately for your fantasy, ladies and gentlemen, if you had the AlphaTauri driver or the Ferrari driver, you've just lost, I think, 20 points from a retirement. I think 20 points. That or 15. But what a roller coaster of a season is for a fantasy. You wouldn't just go what the pundits thought at the start. It's a bit of a roller coaster overall. A lot of mid-season trades. It's for what Bodhot has set up and also is driving. For the people that can make rotations every 3 weeks, it's absolutely impossible to read what happens during that time. You can only just wait. So, but basically, at this stage, I think Aaron is actually going to get his first win here at Dynamic Nights Esports because he's 3 seconds up the field.
Seriously, that is a deserved win. He has driven superbly in some of those races prior to here at Vietnam. He's looked the best of the rest compared to Amazing Hour particularly, and yeah, it's fantastic to see on the mini map. It would be nice to see the podium with the Red Bull sitting on top. But still plenty of racing to go, so we can't get complacent just yet.
Exactly. There's still 2 laps to go here at Vietnam. But yeah, it all came down to that pit strategy under the safety car as G-Force Aaron leads by 3.4 seconds. No penalties to his name, so he'll be comfortably in P1 unless something happens to his car. But I believe from his absolute experience, he's got to hold that car together and bring it across the line. J Banks has returned into P3, overtaking Roscoe Arm on lap 26. So we might see Roscoe Arm fight back for his P3, and this will be his highest position ever in Season 1, and his first set of points, because the system for Tier 1 is traditional F1 points.
Yep, exactly right. So only the top 10 will score points. Speaking of which, big chickens right up my backside.
So we've got some news. Josh has to actually pit. J Banks actually has to pit. He's only done mediums. As we have an incident in the final sector, there's an El Tonki. So J Banks actually is going to pit this lap for softs. Unless he pitted for softs during the virtual safety car. I'm going to double check with that as Roscoe Arm actually goes for a drift. No, he does go into the pits. He's actually absolutely right. Makastru comes in as the Jeff. And Roscoe Arm's so confused by that, he actually outbrakes himself. He actually loses his braking zone. He's like, what's going on here?
Precisely. That's exactly what he's doing right now.
This driver has been battling me for 5 laps, and he had to pit. That is big confusion for him. So Roscoe Arm, a little bit of a celebration, or just a bit of oversteer, he's about to cut the corner. Don't hit the wall, lad, please. Oh, he's getting close. I think he's just absolutely confused. He'd be screaming into that microphone. He'd be confused. He'd be asking everyone what's going on. As he's 14 seconds away from P2. Actually, Amazing Now has actually cut down that time by 5/10 this lap alone. Unfortunately, it's going to be too late for him to continue his phenomenal start of only claiming P1 podiums. But he'll make a small demotion into P2.
Yeah, it's only a small one.
But I believe he will be more disappointed than any other driver on the grid, just because of how consistent he is up there in the top flight.
No, but congrats to Aaron, dude.
Oh!
Seriously.
Oh, that's a El Tonki. I thought that was someone else. Oof, dearie me.
I saw the yellow flag as well, don't worry. I saw that.
Oh, wow. That was one way of seeing the car. But G-Force Aaron, first time crossing the line second time. And he will claim his first victory at Dynamic Nights Esports here at Vietnam. Well done to G-Force Aaron. As amazing, it was only 1.6 seconds off, but Aaron did enjoy slowing down to the line and celebrating that. So fantastic strategy there, going on to the softs during that safety car in 14 laps. So one more lap and his time might have blown up. And VSR Roscoe Arm, the first time Both Racing Points are on the podium. P3, first time in the points as well for Roscoe Arms. So that is a huge jump for Racing Point in the Constructors' Championship.
Spectacular job by both Racing Point drivers. Took full advantage of that race. They did well. There we go. Interesting race at Vietnam. A very interesting race. Trilly's doing some complimentary donuts for his 10th place, which is very nice. Why not? Got 2 minutes until the race calls it, so might as well vent off some steam and do a bit of donuts. There we go. He gets a 30-second time penalty for corner cutting. Oh dear. No, very. Oh, did he cross the line? I don't think he crossed the line.
He doesn't want 1 point. He retired in Abu Dhabi when he was in P6. I believe he doesn't care about points. He's all about the fun. He's all about the experiences. Roscoe Arm, well-deserved driver of the day from Codemasters.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Well done to Roscoe Arm, a deserving podium, but what a win. With GeForce Aaron absolutely nailing the pit stop strategy. I thought it would have been a bit common sense, really. You effectively get a free pit stop. Like, I don't quite understand why Amazing Hour didn't pit. I guess you must be right. He must have crossed the pit lane entry after the safety car came out, and he just decided, you know what, I'm just going to hold first place and see what happens. But yeah, there you go. What a race indeed. Well done, Mr. Aaron. Your first win in this championship, and a deserving one as well, by 1.6 seconds to Amazing Hour. Well done to Roscoe Arm as well, third place. An exceptional drive from him, from 13th on the grid. Gaming Wafer in fourth. One Boy, my effective teammate, finishes fifth. Chich finishes sixth with fastest lap as well. Jay Banks in seventh after making a bit of a strategy error, but only using medium tyres. He had to make a pit stop right at the end for fresh softs. Bodhov finishes in eighth. I finished in ninth and scored 2 points. I'm happy. And Spilly classified in 10th place because Altonki was 3 laps down.
Yeah, so what an amazing race that was here at Dynamic Nights Esports. We'll try and get these drivers in for some post-race interviews. I think we might still have issues with Amazing Hour from the previous week. We'll see what we can do, but for the meantime, just wait for us and we'll try and get these drivers in. We'll be right back. Welcome everyone to the Tier 1 Masters post-race interviews here at Dynamic Nights Esports. As we've got GeForce Aaron, the race winner, as well as first podium setter of Roscoe Arm here in P3. We will have to do Amazing Hour a little bit later. He's still got, there's known glitch with Discord where you just you can't join channels in one Discord, but you can join them in the other. So I'll be doing that later on. But we'll start with our race winner, GeForce Aaron. You finally done it, mate. You finally fucking done it. From second, you crossed the line first in Australia, got placed into second from penalties, second all the way through to the USA, where it was, I think, 11th with the fastest lap because of the softs for the last 2 laps. But then you've pulled off an absolute worldie under the safety car going on softs and 14 laps, and you've pulled it.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty surprised myself, to be honest. Andrew was insane that race. He had really good pace, and I genuinely had no hope. I was just literally hoping for a safety car, and it came, and yeah, I was very fortunate that he just wasn't fast enough to keep up with me on his old mediums.
Yeah, it's one of those mysteries that we think, why didn't he pit? But I think what we believe is when the safety car was already deployed, he was already past. Like, he was already past the pit lane, and then you got to just go in onto softs. Because he could have easily just pitted again onto mediums. He's already done, like, he just did a one stop around here. But obviously, if he went around and pitted at the end of that, he would have dropped more positions than usual if he pitted when the first safety car was straight away. But you got onto the softs, 14 laps. What were the conditions of the tyres at the end?
They actually weren't that bad. They were at about I don't know from memory, but they weren't in the 70s. I think they're in the mid-high 60s. So, yeah, people were going to think like that they were dead and I was going to be in puncture territory. I think like another lap I would have been in puncture territory, but honestly, they were completely fine. I just took care of them with 4 laps to go, and yeah, it was actually pretty easy in the end, that last stint.
Yeah, it's by far a performance to remember, especially strategy-wise, going in and using that safety car to its optimal thing. Because you got the move done, not into turn 1, but later on, I think at the end of the third DRS straight, and then you just cruised ahead. You pulled 2 seconds away in the first couple of laps, and you maintained that 3-second lead. But the big question is, what happened at turn 1 at the start of the race?
I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I broke normally. I probably broke a bit later than I should have. And I was probably just going to touch Andrew, but then someone behind me just full on whacked me. And then it put me into Andrew, and I was like, yeah. And then everyone behind me was gone. Like, I noticed like Schmeg was in bloody 5th, 4th place. And I was like, what the hell happened at the start there?
Yeah, you tend to notice that there's something wrong if I'm in 5th.
I mean, some sort of miracle might have happened, but
I have to go backwards.
The power of the Mamma Mia.
I have to go backwards at a start. I can't go forward. That's impossible for me. It was an interesting incident, that's for sure.
Yeah, so didn't have the rear view mirror on or anything just to see what, because our angle in particular was way far going on the inside of your inside, which was never going to work.
Yeah, no, I had a pretty tight line.
Yeah, like even your line itself was quite
super
ambitious.
Tight. I was gonna, Andrew and I were gonna touch no matter what line I took. I mean, like on that tight angle, we were gonna touch always, but with wafer down my inside, obviously that's just gonna cause carnage, and it did, which is pretty disappointing. It would have been good to have Macca and Bodhod and Wogboy up there, because I know Wogboy had quite a bit of pace today, so yeah, but oh well, it was just a straight fight between Andrew and I today.
Mate, because I have to say before we move on, I remember telling you, I think it was at the end of Mexico, that I had a gut feeling serious take victory at some champion. And I'm so glad you proved me right.
Aw, thanks, Maggie. That means a lot.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Yeah, that gut feeling stayed. Always believed.
Good, man. I'm glad that I fulfilled your dreams.
Yeah,
that was very good.
No, that was a superb result, mate, and I'm sure you'll carry good form into the next race at Shanghai. So well done, mate. Superb victory.
Cheers, boys.
Thank you for joining us. Now
No, he's
on. Oh, sorry, I pulled him out a bit too early when he was mid-sentence. I do apologise, Aaron. I thought it was. I saw the green thing pop up, and I'm like,
You will not.
I feel so bad for him. I could drag him back, but we'll go to Roscoe because Roscoe itself was a bit of a fairy tale like victory. You got into a podium, first set of points on a track that you never believed that you were going to do anything because of the.
No.
You said you had no time. You didn't really want to, especially from the end of the diamond race. You and Tao were not looking forward to it. One particular commentator had what you probably thought was going to be the same experience, which was bad. But
Yes.
you went onto the softs under the safety car, and you've put an absolute worldie cutting through 3 drivers, I think, and then you stayed at P3 fighting Jay Banks on those mediums. How does it feel?
I honestly have no idea what to say. I think I said it nicely in the Masters chat. I feel like this is just a dream right now. That just someone just wake me from this dream. But man, oh man, just like I said, that yesterday. That completely no practice. I kept crashing into that S section bit during qualifying, so that was looking promising for the race. And then obviously start happened, all that chaos at turn 1. I saw just a whole lot of cars, and just the world just opened up for me. I think I hit the wall a couple of times and got a bit of front wing damage on the medium, so it probably hence why my pace was average to say the least. I was just staying out for just as long as I can because I was planning on doing the one stop, and then safety car came out. I don't know what actually happened with the safety car. Whether that was I don't think anybody crashed out, but obviously decided to change the front wing because it was needed, and then just chop onto the soft tires. And my God, I had some serious pace. I don't know honestly, but it was just the front wing change or what. But just blitzed my way through the field, and I mean, got to give credit as well to Jay Banks. Josh definitely put up one hell of a fight in those last few laps. So yeah, credit to him. I know he's probably asleep at this moment of time right about now, but yeah, that was an epic battle right to the end. And yeah, first points of the year and the first podium. I mean, it's all happening at once.
Yeah, it's definitely all happening at once. Did you know that Jay Banks had to pit?
No, actually,
were you shocked because you looked like you outbraked yourself?
I was just thinking like, okay, you're P3. I was thinking, did I give him wing damage or something along the line? Because if I did, I apologize. But I had no idea that was happening. That was just random. Or I really have not a clue what occurred there. So, but yeah.
Yeah, he had to pit because he did 2 sets of mediums. He didn't do 2 different compounds, so that was the reason for it. But we didn't know until Mac and Stu commented. I'm just like, he's pulled Jay Banks has pulled a performance out of nowhere, and then he goes into the pits, and you looked so confused because you looked like you outbraked yourself straight away. You're like, what? Like you're head checking, like you're full head checking. You're like, what? What? What?
It was yeah,
and then you just cruised to the end.
But yeah, I mean, lucky I kept my gap there. I mean, I was keeping an eye on. I think Wafer was behind me, and he had a 3-second time penalty, and so did I. So that was pretty fortunate in the end that occurred. But yeah, I don't really know what else to say, really.
No.
Yeah,
that was a superb drive. I enjoyed watching that pink dot just go through the field. It was actually really to watch on the mini map and to hear Alcatraz over the comms as well. I don't know what else to add that Alcatraz hasn't already mentioned, but mate, that was a fairy tale drive from you. Cut your way through like that around a circuit like this as well, where it's really tight, really demanding, and to come out on the podium, which is your first proper result in this championship as well. That is truly magical, mate. Well done.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, first ever podium on PS4, I should point out as well. So it's been a fair while between drinks since I've actually been on the podium. I think the last time was probably on Xbox, but yeah, this is my first podium on PS4, so I'll take it.
And what a way to get it in Masters. No line, no assists. It's definitely one that you really want to have when it comes to first podiums in league racing.
That's for sure.
It's the one to go for here. But thank you so much, Roscoe, for joining us. Hopefully we see you again. Keep this current form. Maybe no practice is a good thing.
Yeah, it might be an actual good thing. We'll see what it's like with
Just
China, but
and
but
send it.
Yeah.
probably give a shout out as well to Aaron on the victory and to my teammate Amazing Hour as well in P2. Nice job from those boys as well. But yeah, thanks guys.
Thank you for joining us. Now we're going to take a small little vacation from our Skybox commentary, and we're going to jump to another Discord so we can get Amazing Hour in here. I'll quickly just let him know.
Let's see.
So, as I think, hopefully Smeggy's in this one as well.
It's the Oceania voice channel, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh, I've just joined the PS4 one. Is there an Oceanic one?
Oh, there is. Hang on, I'll see if I can't find your name.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a voice channel.
In the PS4 one,
in,
because
like,
I was just gonna go general. If that's the
Oh
one
yeah, I see.
in the PlayStation
And
one.
it had Transnation Superstars underneath it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think I can.
All right.
So-
Cool. We'll join that one.
Uh,
And then I'll.
At least, yep, it worked. Yep, no,
Uh,
maybe so. Eeny, meeny, miny,
And
moe.
he's here, so it's worked. Different name in this one, obviously, but it's nice that we've taken vacancy in the TNF1 Discord. Thank you guys for letting us use this. Aaron, welcome to the Combox in a different area, but you know this well. You know this place quite nicely. It's obviously not the Sky Sports experience we have at DNE, but it will
No,
do.
it was-
P2, first time fallen from P1. Obviously for you, that's going to be the biggest disappointment of the season so far. Obviously that safety car put you in a position that you didn't want to. Did you drive past the pit lane when that was deployed? I'm guessing that's what happened, and you couldn't pit because you'd be set behind certain cars, or were you able to pit and you didn't think, the softs were going to make it?
No, I didn't think it was tough. We're going to make it. Like,
Oh, okay.
12, 13, 14 laps or whatever the hell he did. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how the hell he's managed that, but yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
what can I say? He did nothing wrong. He drove very well. Obviously made a right strategy call where I fucked up, so GG to him. It was a good race. I still don't know why the hell that safety car came out. I'm still pissed about that because I never saw a retirement.
It was
I never
interesting.
Saw
It was debris into the final turn.
yeah, right.
So
okay.
that was the reason for it. There is certain tracks that have that. I got a safety car out on the same particular track, and all I was doing was half spinning the car at turn 5. I got a safety car for that, as well as I think China. I had to just half spin the car, and a safety car came out because of debris. So it's one of those ones where it all came down to a strategy at the end. It wasn't particularly pace at the start of the race. It was all your name leading after, I think, a couple turns when Aaron got the jump into turn 1, obviously with all that carnage. Did you have a feeling, like, what happened into turn 1 for you in particular, starting in pole position?
Well, the start was alright. Got a bit of wheel spin when I engaged the overtake just as I went to go to 4th gear, which kind of gave Aaron a little bit more of a run. And then, obviously, I was deeper on the brakes, obviously. Initially, didn't really look like to me he was actually trying to turn in, looked like he was just trying to run me out. But, yeah, according to certain info from a couple of the guys further back, somebody's, I don't know, forgot to use their
there was a bit of a
brain
moment there, not gonna lie.
yeah, and someone's come in and apparently has just
There was a moment in there.
clean bowled the field. So, yeah, apparently whoever that was running to Aaron, in turn running into me. So, yeah, that was a little bit sketchy, but no, I got the lead back anyway through turns 2, 3, 4, 5, however long that combo goes on for. And, yeah, just, once again, I can't thank the LR guys enough for the great setup and just some tips in general. But, yeah, unfortunately, just didn't do a good enough job tonight. Maybe I should have pitted, I don't know. I just didn't think the tyres were going to make it. But, yeah, I don't know, maybe Aaron had a bit more of a conservative type setup on. Yeah, you can only really speculate, but Yeah, obviously, I mean, as much as I'm kind of disappointed and PO'd about, basically getting screwed out of another W, I've really also, apart from, obviously saying congrats to Aaron, there's massive congrats to my own partner on his first points and his first podium as well, nonetheless. So, very, very cool to see that, and obviously that's a real good boost in terms of our points all for constructors. So, very happy for him. He deserved that, and obviously P2 and P3 is pretty solid. Definitely not what I expected at the start, but obviously he got a bit of luck, and you can argue the point I probably didn't. So. Yeah, I mean, all things come to an end, I probably got lucky that I've actually won all the races up until this point, to be honest. But, like I said, I felt like I got screwed there, to be honest. I'm not happy, but, I did all I could and it just wasn't enough. So, I have to try and do better next time and get back on top. But, anyway, like I said, GG to Aaron, drove well, good pace, and couldn't get back to him. So... Yeah, I'm pissed, but he deserves it. He drove well. He did nothing wrong. So, congrats on P1, and I'll see you next Friday.
Yeah, no, that was a very solid performance from you, Andrew. Before we let you go, I just want to ask you how that qualifying lap went for you. Like, I kid you not, you were a second quicker than the rest of the field. Like, did you absolutely nail it, or did you feel there might be time?
No, there was easily 2 tenths in it. I'm fucking had a big slide in through what do you call it, through the first roundabout, like turn 6 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I had a dog shit run through there. So there was easily 2 tenths in that lap.
Still,
a man for it's a perfection run. He nearly got it. Man's fighting for perfection, and I don't blame him. This driver wants it all, and thank you, Aaron, for Andrew for joining us. Another fantastic run, and obviously for constructors wise, this is the first time both of you lads are on the podium, so that's a huge leap. It's not like a one-horse race when it's you and Aaron. Now it's a team, so that's a really good performance from Racing Point, and hats off for both of you. But I think that will it will end it here tonight at Tier 1 Masters. Thank you, Andrew, for joining us, and the Smeg for participating as well as doing commentary in the race. That is going to be some effort. Concentration is key around that track, and you absolutely smashed it, except for that drive-through.
Except for the drive-through.
I saw him running in P4 at one stage.
Yeah, I was in the top 5 for a while after what happened at turn 1, and then I stayed there until the safety car came out, and I was too busy talking to Alcatraz that I wasn't watching my Delta, and I got a drive-through.
That was a little bit awkward, but no, that was cool. You should have heard Macca when you were up there in P4. He goes, man, if Smeggy Wade gets a podium.
I'll be interviewing my comms member.
It would have been an interesting, serious. I wouldn't go into this race expecting points, let alone a bloody podium. I'm happy to come away with 9th, with something after that race. I needed a bit of luck to go my way, but you always need a bit of luck in Formula One. In any form of motorsport, really, you need a bit of luck to go your way. And a bit of luck to not go my way with the virtual safety car because I was talking too much.
Is that an old saying, you'd rather be lucky than good, or something like that?
Oh, I was just happy to be there. I was just,
just happy to be here.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't care about the points. I didn't care about where I was finishing. I was just there enjoying driving around and talking with Alcatraz as a driver on the circuit and actually witnessing the conditions of the race and, the mental side of sort of the driver behind the wheel during the race. It was a lot of fun. It was very different. qualifying was quite daunting because you know that the camera's on you and you get all bloody nervous.
Don't worry, I used to get that all the time, but I kind of gotten used to it now. I just don't worry about it.
It wasn't just the
exactly.
camera, he was also just commentating his whole run. He was doing a live hot lap on stream with all the world watching. But we
I
can...
kind of final corner on my out lap, and then I kind of fucked up turn 9 a little bit. I fucked up the hairpin a little bit. It was a shocking lap, but oh well, it was something different, and I enjoyed it. So
Yeah, well, that's the main thing. All right, well, I've got to go, guys. I've got an early race in the morning, so I better go get ready for that.
Easy. We'll
Yeah,
be
well
ended it
done.
here.
That was
Well
cool.
done. Have a good race for tomorrow as well. So that
Cheers.
will end it here. We've got Smeggy, who might do it more often. Who knows? We might see him back in that
yes.
back in that Mamma Mia
I
mobile.
would rather see more numbers. to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah. We might have something in the works. We'll see what happens. It might get spicy in the next few weeks. We might have to discuss something, but it will be all here at Dynamic Nights Esports. All the links in the description as well. Please subscribe to the channel. We have no stream tomorrow. Unfortunately, I will be away, but we could have. We'll have a break for the stream for the US tier. GT3 will have I think a stream. I think it's normal feature and sprint race potentially, but I might.
Yeah.
I think I've finished streaming those particular races. It's just not. It's quite hard to commentate on personally.
It would be. There isn't a great deal of action that happens. In
Yeah.
those GT. It's a lot of fun to participate in as someone who does participate in it.
Yeah,
It's a lot of
it'd be a fantastic thing to drive, as I
Yeah.
was in season 1. So I might come and return as my throttling has now disappeared as I've done a full replacement. So we'll come back next week. Actually, we've got China. So that will be a interesting race. In the PC tier, there was some rain near the end of the session, so who knows? It might be a spicy week. But thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you guys on Monday for the blue tier. Goodbye.